The price of petrol has reduced by at least 9 shillings, with the cost of diesel rising by 18. The implementation of new tax measures contained in the Finance Act 2018 commenced hours after President Uhuru Kenyatta assented to the bill. Francis Kashuri tells us more.
Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay?
The dust may have settled after an acrimonious afternoon sitting in the National Assembly, where the executive forced through a series of taxation measures proposed by President Uhuru Kenyatta in his memorandum, outlining reasons for declining to sign into law the Finance Bill 2018. With the bill passing through as he desired, Kenyatta this morning assented to it in a hurriedly convened session at State House, Nairobi. And no sooner had he put pen to paper than effects of the new law became a reality. The price of petroleum products being revised downwards, with petrol retailing at 118 shillings per litre in Nairobi. With the 8% VAT on petroleum products, the government hopes to rake in 17.5 billion shillings annually. But tough times await users of paraffin, particularly in rural areas, who largely use the commodity for lighting purposes. The Finance Act introduces an 18 shillings per litre anti-adulteration levy, ostensibly to deal with crafty business people who mix paraffin with diesel to increase their profit margins. With the price of paraffin now at par with that of diesel, the government hopes to collect at least 9.8 billion shillings per year in taxation. Employees in government and the private sector will have to part with 1.5% of their monthly basic pay, with their employers contributing a similar amount. This money will be channeled to a National Housing Development Fund, though the deductions must not go past the 5,000 shilling ceiling, meaning the maximum amount of money an employee can contribute regardless of their monthly income is 2,500 shillings. This money will be used to build low-cost houses for those eligible after 15 years, while those deemed ineligible will be at liberty to convert their contributions into a pension or pass it over to their dependents. The Finance Act will also increase the cost of banking services after Parliament okayed the Robin Hood taxes. For every deposit or withdrawal of 500,000 shillings and above, taxation will be effected immediately. The cost of communication services will also increase, with more taxes being levied on mobile phone services as well as internet. For those who participate in betting and lotteries, the taxman will have a slice of their luck. For every win in a game of betting or lottery, a 20% tax will be levied, while betting firms will have to part with a 15% tax.
And for that reason, Madam Chair, I oppose.
How the finance bill was passed in the House notwithstanding,
you can do nothing. This is bunge. This is bunge.
The taxpayer will have to adapt to the new tax measures as the government seeks at least 1.5 trillion shillings in revenue to finance the ambitious 2.9 trillion shillings budget in financial year 2018-2019. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.
A blame game is intensifying among members of Kenya's National Assembly over the acrimonious debate that saw the passage of President Uhuru Kenyatta's tax proposals. While a cross-section of MPs have branded their parliamentary leaders as traitors and stooges of the executive, the leadership claims the MPs conned Kenyans in theatrics. Samugina has that report.
Scenes of high drama that have now set parliamentarians and their leaders on a coalition path.
Wale watu wanazunguka wakisema ati sisi ni hypocrites, ati tunadanganya, tunatetea raia, kuambia kwamba watu wajinga waliisha hii Kenya.
You want to even call out names and you vote. But you see, the members refused, meaning they didn't want to be seen. They didn't want it to come out on which side they voted. So they were conning Kenyans, in my view. Members of parliament decided to con Kenyans and they're shifting blame.
The drama in the chambers was expected since members had already sworn before the debate began that they would shoot down Uhuru's memorandum on new taxes. But when the parliamentary leadership won the day, an outright verbal war erupted. The leadership is defending itself.
Coming to parliament and voting against what you are part of in taking decision as a party is being dishonest, is being disloyal to the party, and to me, it amounts to conning. And I don't see why members find it difficult or tie themselves to political parties where they don't, the ideologies of that party they don't subscribe to.
The members of parliament are beginning to realize that their future is more dependent on the electorate than on their party leaders. Okay? Because there has been a notion that the party leader will save you under any kind of circumstances.
But with both the opposition and Jubilee members ganging up to try and thwart the official party position, it appears the executive had to rely on the powers bestowed on their man, the Speaker, to deliver the day's agenda by whatever means necessary. Are the rebellious MPs safe in their careers?
We may have lost it in Parliament, but we have not lost it in totality. We may have lost it because most of our MPs decided they don't want to stand with Wajiku because they fear 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to remind them this. Cowards die many times before their real death. But the valiant leaders, you'll only die once.
And bearing in mind that it is his second term, the level of defiance will start increasing if the members are not persuaded that what you are doing is correct.
Branded a traitor, Minority Leader John Mbadi claimed it was his duty to defend the party position. Having objected to the tax proposals initially, Mbadi now claims the country's financial position is so bad that he had to switch sides.
The truth is we are already in a hole. So are we going to pretend? It is like already you have a child who is drowning in a pool. And instead of first rescuing the life of the child and then pinching the child later and asking the child, why did you get here? And looking for ways of protecting the child never to get back to the pool. You start by hitting the child and the child is drowning. You will kill the child, you will cry later.
With the debate exposing Parliament's soft underbelly, those opposed to the President's tax proposal have been challenged to impeach the rogue cabinet secretaries who got the country in its current financial mess.
We are having cabinet secretaries who have driven us to heavy debt in this country. We are having cabinet secretaries whose dockets are riddled with corruption allegations. And Parliament has not exercised its oversight role to impeach any of them. This is the time.
And we would like to ask the country that as soon as things settle down, I believe that this is something that can be reviewed.
Samagina, Citizen TV, Nairobi.